Imagine the vast, windswept plains of Central Asia in the 5th century, a land of shifting sands and endless horizons, where survival depended on strength and adaptability. From this challenging environment, a new force emerged, the Hephthalites, also known as the White Huns. Their origins are shrouded in mystery, but their impact on the ancient world is undeniable. Originating from the rugged Altai Mountains, they began a relentless migration southward, driven by forces unknown to us. Along their path, they skillfully absorbed various tribes, integrating them into their ranks and growing exponentially in strength and numbers. Unlike Attila's Huns, who were known for their destructive raids, the Hephthalites were a distinct, formidable group, a sophisticated and organized force. They were masters of the horse, skilled archers, and wielded the powerful composite bow with deadly accuracy. Their superior mobility, combined with their advanced military organization and tactics, made them a ghostly, unpredictable threat, capable of appearing and disappearing with alarming speed. As they moved south, their sights set on Bactria, a region encompassing modern Afghanistan and Tajikistan. They encountered not just open lands but also ancient cities and thriving trade routes of the Silk Road. But rather than simply destroy and pillage, they adapted, showing a surprising degree of pragmatism. They began blending their own steppe traditions with the local customs and practices of the settled populations. As they integrated more people and resources, their numbers swelled dramatically, and they stood poised to control the lucrative Silk Road, the economic artery of the ancient world. The Hephthalites were on the verge of a major transformation, evolving from simple nomads into powerful empire builders, ready to leave their mark on history. Soon, they would challenge the mightiest powers of Persia and India, testing the limits of their empires. The storm on the steppe was about to break, and the world would never be the same. With Bactria firmly under their control, the Hephthalites had established a strong base of operations. This strategic location provided them with access to vital trade routes and resources, setting the stage for further expansion. The Hephthalites, driven by ambition and a thirst for conquest, set their sights on the Sasanian Empire of Persia, a formidable power in the west. Simultaneously, they cast their gaze eastward towards the Gupta Empire of India, a land of immense wealth and cultural significance. Their swift, unconventional warfare tactics, honed through years of nomadic life and constant skirmishes, stunned the Persians, who were accustomed to more traditional forms of combat. The Sasanian army were unprepared for the feigned retreats, a deceptive maneuver that lured their enemies into traps, and the deadly archery of the White Huns, whose arrows rained down with devastating accuracy. In India, the Hephthalites faced the formidable barrier of the Hindu Kush Mountains, a natural obstacle that had deterred many invaders before them. But the White Huns, undeterred by the harsh terrain, crossed the treacherous passes, shattering the unity of the Gupta Empire and exposing its vulnerabilities. Their relentless campaigns left a lasting scar on the subcontinent, disrupting its political landscape and contributing to the decline of a once great civilization. By the late 5th century, the Hephthalites had carved out a vast empire for themselves, stretching from the shores of the Caspian Sea in the west to the heartland of India in the east. Their capital, strategically located near the ancient city of Balkh, became a bustling hub of power, attracting merchants, diplomats, and artisans from far and wide. They controlled a vital stretch of the Silk Road, the ancient network of trade routes that connected the east and west, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. No longer mere nomads roaming the steppes, the Hephthalites had transformed themselves into a settled and sophisticated society. They were now a superpower, a force to be reckoned with on the world stage, commanding vast armies and controlling immense wealth. Their influence reached far and wide, extending from the opulent Persian courts, where their ambassadors were treated with respect, to the serene Indian monasteries, where their patronage supported the spread of Buddhism. The world had a new master, a new empire that had risen from the steppes to challenge the established powers and reshape the course of history. The Hephthalites' rivalry with the Sasanian Empire was a defining feature of late antiquity in Central Asia. This intense competition defined an era, shaping the political landscape and military strategies of both empires for generations. King Perez of Persia, blinded by ambition and perhaps a touch of arrogance, underestimated them, leading his army, with misplaced confidence, into a deadly trap meticulously planned and executed. This trap was skillfully set by the cunning Hephthalite king, Akshunwar, a master of deception and warfare. The Persians were utterly annihilated in 484 CE, their proud banners falling amidst the carnage. Peroz himself was killed on the field of battle, a profound humiliation and a devastating blow to Persian prestige. The Sasanians, humbled and weakened, were forced to pay a heavy tribute to their conquerors. Consequently, Hephthalite coins circulated widely throughout the region, a tangible symbol of their newfound dominance and influence. For a time, the once mighty Persian kings found themselves in the unenviable position of ruling only with Hephthalite approval and consent. But this constant state of warfare and competition took its toll, gradually weakening both sides, leaving them vulnerable. Then, in the mid-6th century, the winds of fortune began to shift. A strategic Sasanian-Turkic alliance emerged, poised to strike the Hephthalites from both the east and the west, effectively encircling their territory in a deadly pincer movement. The once formidable Hephthalite empire, strained by years of conflict, finally collapsed under the combined assault. Its vast lands were swiftly divided amongst the victors, reshaping the political map of Central Asia. Their period of supremacy ended as abruptly and decisively as it had begun, leaving behind only echoes of their former glory. The age of the White Huns, the Hephthalites, was definitively over, consigned to the annals of history. The Hephthalites ruled with a blend of steppe tradition and local administration. They preserved existing bureaucracies, collecting tribute through local rulers while maintaining a warrior aristocracy at the top. Their power centers were fortified encampments, not grand cities. Their coins and art fused Persian, Indian, and Central Asian styles, reflecting a hybrid culture. In places like Bamiyan, they sponsored Buddhist art, showing religious tolerance and cultural synthesis. Their society was a mosaic of peoples. Bactrians, Sogdians, Indians, Persians, united under a military elite. This pragmatic multicultural rule allowed their empire to flourish for generations. The Hephthalites were not just conquerors but custodians of a rich, diverse heritage. Though their empire was brief, the Hephthalites left a lasting mark on Asia. By unifying Central Asia, they secured the Silk Road, enabling trade and cultural exchange between East and West. They helped transmit Buddhism northward, and their patronage led to the creation of iconic art like the Bamiyan Buddhas. Their military tactics influenced Persia, while their invasions reshaped India's political landscape. Some Hephthalites were absorbed into Indian society, possibly becoming ancestors of later warrior clans. Today, their legacy survives in coins, ruins, and art across Asia. The Hephthalites were more than conquerors. They were empire builders and cultural patrons. Their ghostly ride across history reshaped empires and defined an age.